Forget the ASM-10, the DRH, and the Man of War. Snipers are overpowered. Hey guys, it's Keith. Today we're going to talk about the basics of sniping in Cod Mobile. If you're new to the game and you finally want to learn how to snipe, or someone who wants to polish up and relearn the fundamentals. Before anything else, we need to set up some things. Everything you're going to learn here is based on how I learned to snipe. So keep in mind that I use the iPhone 8 Plus as my gaming device and I use finger sleeves. First up, in our controls tab, go to shooting mode and scroll down to sniper rifles. We're gonna check hip. That's right, we're going to manual scope. That way, we're entirely in control of when we scope in and out and also of when we take the shot. After that, we go to our layout or our HUD. As you can see, I use a 4-finger setup. I made a video on this months ago and I haven't changed much ever since. I use the right side of my screen for my movement buttons, manual scope, and aiming, while I use the left side of the screen to shoot and move around the map. For a more in-depth video on how to master a 4-finger layout, you can check out the video on my channel. Next thing we need to set up is our basic settings. While everything is self-explanatory, I want to point out the ADS button for rotation. You need to turn that off. This will help with consistent aim because if you have it on, whenever you move your finger after scoping in, your scope will move around also. We don't want that. Turn it off. Let's go to our ADS setting. We have tap and hold to ADS, tap to ADS, hybrid ADS, and double tap to ADS. Personally, I'm more used to tap to ADS, but I use hybrid so I can use it for close quarters. I can use my index finger for the movement buttons after using tap and hold, to reposition myself instead of tapping again to scope out. Try them all and see which one works for you. Don't use double tap to ADS because you won't be able to quickscope. One of the more important things to set up is your sensitivity. Now here's my sensitivity settings. I personally use the settings I got from my sensitivity video and so far it's working out for me. I made some minor tweaks since, like my speed acceleration, I bumped it down to 100, but I stuck with it and it feels good and comfortable. The last thing we need to set up is our gunsmith build. We need to have an idea of how our sniper should feel. Do you want it to scope fast or slow? It's entirely up to you. Here's some of the builds I personally use. I get them from the main sniper for Apex Brody, Soya. You can check out his Instagram for pro scrim highlights. His account will be linked down below. Take note that snipers aren't affected by attachments for range and bullet spread accuracy. You can stack ADS attachments so you can control how fast you want to scope. Now let's head on to training mode and start learning sniping. First, get familiarized with your scope and time. The more you're comfortable, the better you can time when to tap to ADS in order to be more precise with your scopes. Take some time to familiarize sniping with your current HUD. Could it be better? Are you reaching both your ADS and fire buttons? Make micro adjustments in order to be comfortable whenever you snipe. Next, practice hitting your quickscopes on stationary targets. As soon as you're fully scoped in, tap your shoot button, wait for your sniper to finish the bolt animation, then proceed to shoot again. Try hitting the near targets, then hit the ones from afar. In the real game, your targets won't be stationary. Enemies will be constantly on the move and you need to predict on where they would be when you finish your scoping animation. This is called leading. We aren't necessarily leading our shots, only our scopes. Practice this on the moving targets. Again, start from the nearest targets, then hit the ones from afar as best as you can. As you progress and gain experience in sniping, there's a high chance you'll miss your quickscopes, even if you're leading. This is where dragscoping comes in. For example, you quickscoped at your enemy, and somehow you miss them a bit. You now have to drag your finger across your screen and make the quick adjustment so your scope is now on target. Here's an example in game. The last thing we need to learn is hardscoping. Now, hardscoping is used mainly for when you're expecting an enemy to go by an area you're watching. Sometimes, it'll be quicker to swipe along an area rather than unscoping then scoping again. Practice your hardscopes by scoping in and hitting all far targets while staying scoped in. This way, you'll master your sensitivity when scoped in. Now that's done, let's practice those 4 in a pub match. There's no better place than Hardpoint Shipment. In here you can practice everything we discussed earlier, and you're gonna get a good feel if you have the right attachments, the right HUD, and the right sensitivity. If something feels off, either you train your aim on practice mode or tweak your settings for a bit, see what works for you. That's all for today's video. I hope this helped you begin your sniper mastery. The next video will be about sniper loadouts, secondary weapons, perks, and equipment to use in certain game modes. We're also going to learn the areas to cover whenever using a sniper, and of course, blank scoping. As always, if you want more of this kind of content, hit subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed watching.